Finally, TV, here we are, party people, back again with another episode of Voice of the Valley. And remember, don't just dream, inspire. Don't just imagine, create, and just don't believe, achieve. You know that's the way it's going down on here. Voice of the Valley every single time, coming to you from a very, very cold, brick cold Beacon, New York today. I have a guest here today. Excited to have him on. He's got a great story, so we're going to talk about it. Introduce you to him, introduce you to the music, introduce you to the movement, and we're going to get it popping like that. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to y'all to Senor G. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, brother?
How you be, man?
Man, I'm just grateful my eyes open this morning.
Yeah, man, talk about it, man. Not too many people are too happy about waking up every day. They don't realize the beauty in that.
Well, because a lot of folks believe it's their alarm clocks that wake them up in the morning, you know, and not that energy that allows them to exist.
You could just hit rewind and just listen to the last about 20 seconds. You'll learn a lot right there. Life lesson. Bingo. I love it, sir. Well, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's, a pleasure.
Yeah, man. No doubt. No doubt. I know that we have some mutual friends out here.
Yes.
Shout out to people like Dan Voice. Dan Voice
Dan
has been
Voice.
Big supporter, man. Talented dude. Easy to support him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
I met him at my nephew's birthday.
Okay.
And he's a friend / fan. He might as well be my extended relative. Put it to you that way.
Yeah.
And he's the individual. After he heard some of my material and a couple of interviews that I did, he said, "Oh no, you need to go speak to my man."
Yeah.
I said, "All right, let me know. Give me the information. As soon as I got the information, that's when I hit you."
Yeah, there you go.
Just like that. I don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Because I believe people are put into my path for a reason. The universe had to teach me the lessons. I had to be humbled. And then now that the Creator has filtered out the cancers.
Okay. You got to that point?
We're
not all that lucky.
It's a work in progress, but don't get it twisted. At any moment it could all be snatched away from you,
no
just
doubt,
in case.
no
Just
doubt.
as fast as
you gotta stay
there.
sharp.
Yeah, but no, he's a good dude.
No, he is. So salute to Dan Voice. Tech One's another one.
Yes,
that we talked about.
Tech One's a good dude. Again, he's part of the circle. I haven't seen him in a while, but his good friend is my big brother.
Oh, there you go.
So
well, if you say what's up to him here, he will see it because he watches the show. So.
Tech, what's going on there, sir?
Salute
to Tech.
Man, no diggy. So let's just jump right into it, man. We're gonna get you familiar with the audience, get the audience familiar with you.
Okay, my pleasure.
And get you a couple more followers, get you some more listeners, and we're going to take it from there. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. So, first thing I ask all the time is, where were you born and how'd you end up in the Hudson Valley?
Well, I was born in the biggest borough, Queens, New York. A long time ago, many moons ago. Okay. I'm not going to just throw the number out there, but this past December 25th, I turned exactly 14,246 days old.
Do the math.
And then the fraction.
right. Leap year.
Yeah, right. I just to speed it up. I'm from Queens. I went to school mainly down there. I come from a strong family. I was raised by women. Being an example of what can be if you choose not to use today's statistics as a crutch. At some point as an individual you have to make a choice. Are you going to be comfortable and complacent, or are you going to grow? So coming from a single parent household, I decided to grow. I decided to mold myself. I decided to be something and say, hey, look, if I can do it, you can do it, and then some. How I ended up here, well, back in the days, there was a company called Community Connect. They owned Asian Avenue, Black Planet, and Mihente.com.
Okay.
And at that time, a good friend of mine, Josh One, shout out to Josh One, he had put me on to a program called Photoshop at the time.
Yeah.
And it was Photoshop 7
Yeah.
at the time. And shout out to Adobe. Appreciate y'all, shareholder. And I had did like my first, what I thought was a website. You know, it was HTML back then, you know.
Yeah.
And the young lady at the time that's now my wife, she hollered at me, you know, and she sent me like a little message. And 16 years later, you know, we're still together. So that's how I ended up here in short.
So you're saying Shorty brought you up here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Shorty brought me up here, and you know, it was one of the best things thus far that could have happened to me. You know, like I said, up here, you know, the air is a little better. You know, there's road courtesy on the road up here. And besides that, I had to get out of New York City because at the end of the day, there's no evacuation plan in place for New York City.
Right.
So when those orders come down from the tippy top, y'all stuck because the Bronx is the only borough that's physically connected to the United States. I'm gonna say that one more time.
Right.
The Bronx is the only borough that is physically connected to the United States. So do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go directly to death. They're gonna be the first ones cut off from the rest of the world. Especially what's going on now. I need to watch movies like I Am Legend, Day After Tomorrow. There's a reason why, you know, the government tells us in the form of entertainment, predictive programming. You know, so I would encourage everybody, you know, since y'all, you know, we all caught up in entertainment stuff. We all got fire sticks now. Start educating yourselves.
Yeah. If you haven't already, go watch Wise Conspiracy. It talks a lot about this stuff. 'Cause a lot of that falls into place.
Yeah,
you know?
I
the
just
symbolism. And all that, you know
You know, I just talk about it. You know, it's you're going to hear it in my music. You're going to hear it in conversations because this is who I am. You know, this isn't Hollywood. This is New York.
Right.
You know, I'm not getting paid. You know, to be. It's easy to be me.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to be something that I'm not. It requires too much energy that I don't have.
Sure. That's a great segue into what I wanted to ask. Like, what brings you to Finally TV today? What is it that Senor G's doing that we had to talk about today?
I mean, well, I'm glad you asked that, Mr. Gabe, because I am the creator and founder of New Age Hip Hop. Okay, New Age Hip Hop is a new genre, not completely new. It has been out 2 decades, but it is a new genre now as far as this level of exposure to the rest of the planet, where it's completely vulgar free. You know, I believe in vocabulary, not bridge words. Sure. I believe in concepts, not pieces of thoughts just thrown together over a beat that you, that's dope, that 808. Okay, but what are they saying? Let's take away the music and just put the lyrics there. And when you read it, it's like, huh? You know, there's no substance to it. How I can't apply that to my life. That's not anything that I could actually pass down to any of my seeds, because I got young ones and I got adult children. You know, that's not nothing I could even tell them to help better their lives before I close my eyes for the last time. Right.
Do you find that you need that from music personally, or, you know, as a country as a whole, do we need substance from music all the time?
Not all the time. I do believe in balance. There has to be balance, okay? I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, look, there are some real effed up people on the planet that have done some heinous things, that still do heinous things. No matter what type of day or night it is, they will just do it. Sadly, those people are necessary to exist, because too much of anything is bad. Too much bad, obviously, is bad. And even too much good is going to eventually turn bad. So there has to be some type of balance in the spectrum, not only in life itself, but everything else that consists within it. So music, to me, it is a form of expression. It is an art form. However, since this type of music has been cultivated into a weapon since the late 80s, and then the meeting that took place in the early 90s out in California. We can talk about the prison industrial complex. We can talk about all of that happened. What's going on now are end result byproducts of those choices, those decisions, those actions and laws that have been put in place. You know, that now, since I'm an adult, I'm a parent, I'm fearful for my children going up, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to tolerate what my great-grandparents and grandparents and parents did. That's not happening. So ain't no vaccines, ain't none of that. You know, I'm in the medical field. These masks are killing people. You know, they're not even educating people that, you know, you're going to give yourself a bacterial pneumonia.
Keep wearing the same mask.
Keep wearing the same mask because you're breathing in and out your own. You know, I mean, this can go a lot of different ways beyond music, because I am not just music. I'm me. I'm Senior G, strategically enhancing non-intelligent others righteously. Now, just because you're non-intelligent to something doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means that you're unaware.
Correct.
So if I feel someone is unaware of something and they're in my circumference, and some, you know, energy says, hey, look, seniors, you know, educate this person, even if I know they're not going to take heed, that just helps me better develop my message for the person that will accept it.
So y'all can hit rewind. I like it, man. I really do. Speak a little bit before I go on. This new age, we call hip hop or rap?
New age hip hop. Rap,
age?
no, rap is a slap in the face. Hip hop / rap, just the way that it's visually placed is disrespectful. That's why I came up with new age hip hop.
Okay.
In short, my motivation, well, not complete motivation, but what helped push me over the hurdle was when Little John and the East Side Boys came out with crunk music. Now, when we were still going to the stores, to Best Buy or
buying
wherever,
CDs
you
or
buying
whatever.
CDs, tapes,
Right.
back in the days, you know, they still had, you know, genres. When you was going down the music aisles, each genre, you know, and then the music that was along that genre. Well, Little John and the East Side Boys had their own section, crunk music. They were separated from rap. So I said, well, hold on, wait a minute. So again, just using them as the guideline, not saying that I followed him, not saying that I've studied his music or anything like that. I just see something and I take what's important from it in the moment, and then if I can apply it, I apply it, and I applied the principle. He can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, there you go.
That simple. It's not about hate. It's not about nothing. I'm not with the crabs in the barrel mentality. I'm old school. You know, my great grandmother raised me. She was born in 1900, so I got that old. I've been getting called the old soul since 5 years old. You know, I've been commanding respect from my elders since a child.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I definitely get it. When it comes to all that, like, because when you first come on, you say, you know, new age hip hop,
Nah, music.
You know, something that comes to mind when you were just speaking, though, is a lyric by KRS-One where he said, you know, rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live.
Okay.
You know, so that comes to mind when you start speaking, and I'm like,
That's a compliment and a half. Thank you.
So with that said, you had spoke about being a creator of such genre, right? Yeah. Talk about that a little bit, and your role in that.
I mean, well, my role in it is basically just trying. Well, not trying. I'm doing. I gotta. Let me take that back a little bit, because what you speak out into the universe, oh, he's still just trying. So I'm just gonna
we doing it here.
We doing it,
right?
So I have done is I have separated genders to a standard. You know, I used to be teased by, you know, my peers and stuff, but these individuals, you know, I tried to help them out. They didn't even know what ASCAP was until I took them down there across from Juilliard, you know, and got them their applications. This is back in the days. They don't even do that no more.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I pull my card out right now. I've been a member since '03.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Get your business
Get
right.
your business right. You know, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, Gary Fox, you know, if y'all don't know none of that, then you are wasting your time.
Yeah, talk about it. My man Blackout, shout out Blackout. He talks about that all the time. Get your business right.
Yeah, you
Know what
have
you're
to.
doing. Like,
You have to.
How do you get a placement? How do you do anything? You know?
I mean, I'm studying that now.
Yeah.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Clint Productions LLC. I'm working with Anthony Clint Jr.
Okay.
I've gotten some information from him. I plan on growing from him. I've reached out to the engineers and producers over at Radium. They've done the Lego movie soundtrack. They've done all these things. Google them. You know, I've also reached out to what was it? I think it's Pro Sound Mix. And got some information from them, because what resonated with me as I've been, you know, through my journey, I'm still learning. Knowledge is infinite. You know, you never stop learning.
Nope.
He who knows everything knows nothing at all.
Right.
You know, but what resonated with me from a podcast that Radium does is it's like, look, you know, you can be good pretty much, but you could be practicing that jump shot, okay, and never really go anywhere, versus getting a mentor, somebody who's already doing it, a coach that's successful, and let the coach come in and show you how to shoot that shot. Now practice that. Then it's inevitable that you're going to elevate. So right now I'm in my figurative meditation learning stages of elevating. So therefore, you know, I can be a better leader and example to the people who look up to me within my business establishments. You know, because I am an engineer. I'm not somebody who just went on YouTube and studied. No, I went to the Institute of Audio Research down in Greenwich Village in West 4th Street, University Place. And, you know, that was in 2001. I graduated at the top of my class. You know, with a 4.1 GPA. You know, I still got all my notes, all my tests. I missed 0 days of school when I wasn't feeling well, and if I was sick, I sat in the back of the class with a mask on, away from everybody else, but I was there. You know, because that's what dedication is. I made sure I let everybody know it wasn't no funny business and everything. They all said, hey, you know what? We respect you for even telling us and telling us that you're gonna be over there. Cool. Right. You know? This
is pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-SARS, pre-swine flu, what was that other one? H1N1. Yeah. You know, the millennials are not taking this pandemic seriously at all. No. You know?
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to have you talk to the people real quick.
Okay.
But I want you to look into that camera lens. Okay. Tell them exactly what Senior G stands for again, and then where they can follow you and find you on social media.
Absolutely. Well, Senior G, you know, my name's Senior Garrett. Okay, that's my real name. You know, it's not a pseudonym name. But I just say G. You know, the EE that's there when you see it. It's you don't say it, you just see it. It's just there for visual purposes. Right. But Senior itself is strategically enhancing non-intelligent others righteously, and you can follow me at GSP Senior 2 at Instagram, Facebook. It's the same information. If you wanna talk to me. On YouTube, Senior G. You can Google me, Senior, like your last year in high school or college. Okay, spacebar, GEE, and you can find me that way, because if you can't be Google search and stuff pop up, then you're not doing nothing to me. You know, I don't have a Wikipedia page yet, but we getting there. Baby steps. I'm not rushing it, but it ain't just one thing there. It's several things there, you know. Yeah. And I'm still growing. I mean, I'm accepting interns because at the end of the day, no one that has done anything great in this life has done it alone. They've always had help from someone or something. So for me to come on to this platform or any platform and be like, yeah, I got it. No. It's in some instances, to the naked eye, when it comes to the end result of things, it may look or appear to be that someone is doing it by themselves, but no one who is truly successful is doing it by themselves. It is impossible.
Even at this level, shout out to people like Angie, the wife, who's always supporting what I got going on.
Yeah.
People like Big Veg with the support that they show and the tips and all that stuff. All that stuff, it all matters. It all helps. People like Dan Voice we were talking about before, who are promoting and helping support the platform. All that counts.
Yeah.
I can't do it by myself. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get it, brother. I get it. So tell me this. I know you got some strong family bloodlines in there.
Oh yeah, a few.
So
I'll keep it to a minimum.
And you would talk about it. But when did you realize what your passion was?
Musically?
Yeah.
Well, that happened when I was 9 years old. I really couldn't go out the house like that. From school. School, come home, and my mother was at work. Back in those days in the 80s, my great-grandmother was in the 80s. She was born in the 1900s. So it was always easy to remember how old she was. Right. So I can count on not even my whole left hand how many times she took me outside. So what I had was a lot of books. I had cable at a very young age. Maybe I grew up a little too fast in some aspects. But I was also trained to be seen, not heard. Speak when spoken to. A wise man is a good listener. In order to get respect, you got to give it first, and I demand the respect I give people first. So
okay, so that's where the passion's coming from.
Yeah, that's where it stems from.
But you also, you said musically, and I respect it. But you also seem to have a passion for enlightening others. Where'd that come along from?
You know what? To be honest with you, I do not know. All I do know is that I've been this way my entire life, as far as me being conscious. And then spiritually conscious, I could say around the same time. All of this is before my double digits, but then when it really hit home is when I became a father.
Of course.
That's when I said, what, Dad, all this stuff that I was doing, I'm not going to put it out there because all that stuff is swept under the rug. When somebody had a camera back then, a whole VCR tape went in.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But what I will say is that once I became a father, that made me realize, hey, you know what? I need to slow down and take into consideration life itself, because now I'm responsible for an innocent soul. So that's when I could say that I began to become more spiritually conscious and more aware of my surroundings, not to make it seem like, oh, well, he's changed or he's going to. No, I'm maturing. And because I was a parent at such a young age, I couldn't even vote yet at the time when I became a parent. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even sign my own child's birth certificate by myself. You know what I'm saying? But it was the best thing that happened, because I was raised to be responsible, take care of your business, and being part of Generation X, it seems like the byproducts, again, of all these disrespectful teenagers that call their parents by their first names and their grandparents mom and dad is because Generation X, a lot of us, the ones that are still living, because there's a lot that's in the ground somewhere or in a cage, we wanted to partake in adult activities, but when it came to the responsibility, we wanted to revert back to being children. I was taught to handle your business. So that's what I chose to do. And that's what I continue to do to this day.
Got you. It's a respectable, commendable thing, brother. Let me tell you, we could use more people like you.
Thank you.
So let's switch it over, and we're just gonna go hard body on some music stuff. You know what I mean? So when it comes to music, how long have you been actively pursuing wanting to be, this
Man, that's
new age hip hop artist?
I mean, well, as far as because okay, you can't hate something unless at one point you first once loved it.
Right.
I hate rap music.
Okay.
Loathe it. I despise it. It's despicable to me.
Okay.
All right. Because when I was younger and less conscious, I thought that that's what it was. You know, I'm used to people beefing or whatever. The worst thing that could happen back in the days is somebody pull out a butterfly knife, or if somebody did have a hammer, you know, they shot in the air. They wasn't shooting people. The only people that was getting shot back then was mob hits. Broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? Or in the evening, you know, right? Like how that happened on 42nd. But other than that, you know, man, so just forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. It's just that I got so much up here, and then I'm trying to get it out. It's tough for me. I'm a human being too, you know.
Yeah.
But it's what made me decide to do it was mainly again when I became a father, because that was the same year, you know, October 13th, 1991. I'm no sorry. 99. Let me retract that.
Right.
October 13th, 1999.
Yeah.
It was a Wednesday evening, and that's when I won Amateur Night at the Apollo with my own original work, and I did it a cappella to make sure that nobody could be lost in the music. I because to me, what real hip hop to me was lyricism and a break beat. That's what it was. It was just a sample and a break beat back in the day. So we could tell if you were nice or not.
Right.
Because all you just needed the beat to get your rhythm. So it would be like, oh, okay. But now, because it seems like the evolution of production has surpassed even further ahead of the artist. And there's so many transitions within the music, people get lost in the beat, and all they care about is a catchy hook that's only 4 bars long and repeated twice.
Right. Or more.
Yeah, right. I mean, and then these songs, I'm listening to these songs, and I'm looking at the times. I'm like, that's not a song. That's not even a verse. What are they doing? They're not even doing 8 bars. They're not even doing 12. And I said, no, like, what's going on? It just seems like rap, what they portray as hip hop, is complete laziness to me. It's complacency, it's comfortability, and I'm not with that, because once you are comfortable and complacent, you're like, I am good with that. I'm not good with that. So let me separate myself. If that's what y'all gonna do, fine. I'm not upset that no one has got to the point of educating themselves to make sure that they own 51% of their creative control, because a lot of them are puppets and they have to do that. And then the ones who just straight choose to do that, well, it's not my place to judge them. That's going to be between them and the creator when they close their eyes for the last time. I'm good. My conscience is clear. You know, I'm just here to deliver the message. What you do with the information is on you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, come on.
So 99, this real passion gets
launched. My son was born in January. I won an Apollo that October, and then 2000 came, and it was kind of like limbo for me, because to me time started from 1, not 0. So 2000 was just 2000, like a reset, so to speak, and then 2001. It's like, okay, now we're just going to keep going. 2002. All right, I'm still finding myself. I know that the music that I'm making is different, but it still has similarities, because I was still young. I'm still young now. You know what I'm saying? But I was younger, and I was still holding on to what I thought was hip hop, but it was really rap. And it was just, struggles. And then 2003 comes. I formed G Strings Productions Limited. And it's like, okay, I got my business. I know I'm doing the right thing, but I just got to keep going. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. You don't have to know. Just know that you want to do it and keep going, because if you're really passionate about something, you might fall off the wagon or whatever, but the universe respects what you give it. So if you keep showing that you are determined and that you are trying to push forward and that you're doing the best that you can, that's when the help comes. It comes when you need it, not when you feel that you need it, not when you want it, but when you absolutely need it. It will always be provided to you. Always.
There you go. You talked a little bit about some progressions there after 99. What came out of all this work that you were putting in? Were you putting together songs? Were you putting together projects? How did that go for you?
Well, I didn't really know song formats per se when I was younger. My cousin Mikey D, shout out to Mikey D from Main Source after Large Professor left. I'm just saying that figuratively. He helped mold me, to a great extent, because when I was writing verses, only I knew what it was. Like, if I could show you a book from back in the days and you look at it, it would look like a haiku or a paragraph to you, but I knew where the
cadence was.
Right. And he was like, look, cuz I love you, but look, let me show you something. And then, he sat me down and was like, no, you put the line here, boom, 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 boom. And then depending upon what the beat is, BPM, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And you do your slashes. So therefore and I was like, oh, okay. So when I started doing that, I would always come back to him like, all right, look, do like this. And he was like, all right, now that's cool. But now, you saying stuff and it's cool, it's hot, but it's not cohesive. So then that's when my lesson came about song structure. And what was said to me then, and what I will say to anyone now that's finding trouble out there, structuring your music or anything like that, is if you do have a instrumentation of something, that's your baseline, that's your guideline, listen to it and feel it out. It should be natural. It should be organic. It shouldn't have to be rushed. It shouldn't have to be forced. And how does it make you feel? And then come up with the concept of the chorus. So therefore, the record made you feel that chorus, and then you write your record in a letter format: intro, body, close. Simple, and as I said to you earlier, within simplicity lies complexity. And the chorus is what bridges the cohesiveness, because it makes sense.
Right.
So you're writing, as you're writing your letter, you're writing your letter to the chorus. The chorus is the recipient of it. So that's how I do my records. That's how I mentor artists to do their records, but by the same token, it's still just a guideline. Do whatever makes you feel. It's not nothing etched in stone.
Just a plan to start. Let's go.
I rather plan to fail than fail to plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. So if I'm hearing it right, it sounds like there was a lot of trial and error with what you were doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sounds like during all that, though, you had created a company, and with that company, what was the intention there? To become your own production center?
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing. Well, yes, I do create. I am a producer. Not a beat maker, because I can actually play an instrument. That's another thing too. That's like I mean, there are some good beat makers out there. There's some good beat makers out there, but how are you going to compare a good beat maker to an actual producer, composer, to like Quincy Jones or like Prince or something? Like, no, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just give everybody their separation, so therefore know that we can itemize and limit the confusion, which comes out in the form of hate or jealousy. No, let's just give it its proper distinction. So therefore everybody can agree to disagree on something and actually progress somewhere, versus not going anything and it's like a broken record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned Mikey D.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your inspirations when it comes to everything on the music side.
On the music side?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, Rochdale Village, got New York Boulevard and 134. They call it GABRIEL now. So, like, when I was growing up, like 50 and them Lost Boys, they were across the street. They lived in the houses. I lived in a cooperative apartment. You know what I'm saying? When daylights went out, everybody came across the street because Rochdale Village still to this day has their own power plant. You know what I'm saying? So, it just, those guys, live to them. My cousin LL, my uncle Rob Swinger from the Trackmasters.
Tell a quick story though. You told me a quick story about how your cousin named that famous rapper though.
Real quick. I mean, he could be upset at me if he want to, but Mikey D, my big cousin and first mentor, gave LL Cool J his name.
There you go.
Gave him his name because LL always wanted everybody to address him as Ladies Love Cool James. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And he gave him it, but he even said it in one of his records, that he's humble about it. He said that he gave him a suggestion. And I'm like, man, please, because you can research some interviews. Don't take my word for it. Google it. There was an interview that LL had did out. He was across seas somewhere, and the interviewer had asked him, kind of like these kind of similar questions. Who inspired him, right, and who did he want to be like? And he said it. Well, I wanted to be like Playboy Mikey D. Because that's what they called him back in the days. Yeah. And he said, "Oh, okay. Well, what's Mikey D doing now?" He says, "Oh, he's still a playboy." Just like that. And I'm like, "Wow, really?" Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, no, I don't feel any negativity towards them, but it's just like, come on. Like, there's so many unsung heroes out there, not just in hip hop music, but just in everything that you can think of.
Sure.
And it's messed up, in my opinion, professionally and personally, that no one takes the time to say, all right, well, look, we have to acknowledge this, because if we didn't, you wouldn't have none of this.
Right.
At all. It wouldn't exist.
Right.
So that still forms a way back to around saying comfortability and complacency.
Right. And I think that point right there about paying homage and stuff, that's the part that makes all like the all-time like top 10 lists, top 5 lists, get dicey and people argue over it, because like some people are going to err on the side of, well, if Kool Herc and them weren't doing what they was doing,
right,
you know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
So how can we talk about this without mentioning them?
Right.
Then the other school of thought is, well, it didn't just stay there. If Kool Herc was doing it and nobody else did it, it would have just been Kool Herc doing some craziness in the basement at a party. You know what I mean? So it's like, we need all the pieces to push it forward.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you have to pay homage. From my point of view, at Finally TV, we pay homage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I can appreciate that.
We have to pay homage, in my opinion. If me and Black Owl will have a big discussion about how, old school is old school and now is now, but to me, you don't have now if you don't have old school.
Exactly.
So
what are the sounds that these producers are sampling?
Right. Still the same sounds.
Because there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Nothing new under the sun. It's either been done already or about to get done. Right. That Nas record. Right.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. And that sample was what? What sample was that?
For which song?
For that the song I was just saying. That's how I don't remember the name of it, but it's nothing new under the sun. It's a Nas record. I'm telling you.
On the hook now. Now I gotta. Now
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. On the screen somewhere when I figure it out. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. But I had to say that because that's what it is, and it's painfully entertaining.
Yeah. No, it is.
How some of these young individuals. That it's nice. They got commas in their bank accounts. That's great. They got tattoos all over their face, looking like Chipotle bags. That's fine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't think any of them have actually stopped to slow down for a bit and really evaluate their situations because of all the pharmaceuticals and narcotics that's in their systems.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of different variables now playing.
Yeah, and then it just seems like that the music that they're perpetuating forward is poison.
Yeah.
It's poison.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they even care about their futures. All they care about is right here, right now. You know, that's why it's unfortunate, but a lot of these young men, some of them could be my kids. I got kids older than them, have lost their lives.
Yeah.
And they can't even reap the benefits because some of them didn't have their business together.
Right.
And now their music
is owned by somebody else
and
outside the family.
Outside of their situation.
Yeah.
You know, and it just seems like, you know what Biggie say, you're nobody till somebody kills you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then and then when you go back to the Bronx Tale, what did Sonny tell Calogero when nobody cares? No one cares. You know, so my advice to anyone in this business, you know, take the time, no matter how long, take the time to get yourself together. So therefore, when you put yourself out there, you put your best foot forward, you can have it in stride with confidence. You know, it took me 2 decades to do this, but I put myself in a position where I can tell people respectfully and humbly, look, when I know I'm right about something, I'm not going to debate with anybody who's, 1, not in my tax bracket,
right.
and 2, and or someone I can give a job to. And I can give a job to anybody as a work for hire. So I just hope that people can say, you know what, let me do something for me. Don't be a boss, be a leader. You know, I don't like the term boss. I like leadership, because bosses to me, it just seems like they just give orders, and then they did what they had to do, and then they got complacent. I ain't got to work no more. I can tell everybody to do it. No, leaders are there when your people need them, and they're more respected. I'm a leader, not a follower. You know, so be a leader. Not only for whatever it is that you're trying to do, but just be a leader for yourself. Because it starts with self. You have to be a little bit selfish, just a smidgen. Because if you're not taking care of yourself professionally, emotionally, creatively, how are you going to do it for anyone else?
No, I know.
You can't.
Yeah, no, it's true. You bring up a good point, and I want to touch on this real quick. You also, you know, you got real, like, deal successful people in your family that have done music.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You come from a borough where things are very accessible. You know what I'm saying, right? But speak about how it's important to invest in yourself.
Oh, yes, you have to.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're sitting here today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I read something, I think it's called Buzzworthy.
Buzz Music?
Buzz
Music,
Music,
they just did another article. Shout out to Buzz Music.
Shout out Buzz Music. You know, I'm reading things in their articles. They were going over some of your music and talking about your development as an artist and stuff. That's you investing yourself, your money and your time to do these things. Talk about how important that is.
It's very important to invest in yourself. You know, nothing is free. You know, you have to put in, and whatever you put in is what comes out. Just in short, without throwing numbers out there or anything like that, because some of the numbers can sound scary, but if you have a line of communication and just say, hey, look, this is my situation, humble yourself. Say, look, this is my situation, I like what you're doing, is it possible? Can I be a part of it? You know, I might not be able to afford all of this, but this is what I can give you, but this is also something that I do. Can I be of service to you? Let's bring back the barter and trade, because the broken promise for silver and gold you call money hasn't been around since the beginning of time. You know, and the only 2 true currencies that exist is time itself and your soul. That is it.
It is. Talk about it. Rewind. So, you know,
I hope y'all are getting something from this, you know?
Absolutely. When it comes to that, you know, investing in yourself, creating a fan base,
Yes.
creating awareness
It's
for
tough.
your brand.
It's tough.
It's not easy.
I'm trying.
It's not easy.
I'm trying.
It's not easy, and you can take that from the upcoming platform to an artist trying to establish himself in a game to really make it work, right?
Right.
Your generational wealth. That's what we're trying to do
Correct.
at the end of the day, right?
Correct.
It's things that we wish those younger people had done before they unfortunately passed, right? We wish
Right.
they had set up their stuff for their kid to be good and all that, and their moms and all that, but they didn't. Who would you say are your biggest supporters in what you're doing right now?
The biggest supporters in what I'm doing right now are the energies that wake me up every day. Those are my biggest supporters.
Okay.
Immediately right after that, it's my children. This is not nothing against my wife.
No.
Shout
out wifey.
Shout out to wifey. Okay. But in essence, and I'm using me as the example, so therefore I'm talking about myself and no one else, but I'm pretty sure that people are going to be able to relate. People come and go. People grow apart, things happen, but your children are your children, regardless. And as a parent, you are the guideline, the stepping stone, the cultivator of their mentalities, their respect levels for themselves. Because if they don't respect themselves, how are they going to respect anyone else?
Right.
So that's where my support is. And then yes, wifey,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I mean, my couch is comfortable, so I'm
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That's what my TV is anyway. But I prefer the bed. I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm just being real about it.
Yeah, no, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And when you got behind any strong man is a stronger woman.
I'm sure.
And then when the latest single that's out, Juss Listen, it dropped the first Friday of this year. When you listen to the lyrics of it, it may throw some people for a loop, because I'm thanking the creator. And in the lyrics, as it comes on, it says, I thank God that she gave me a gift. And to a lot of people, they might be like, whoa, wait a minute, did he just put an S in front of the H? Well, yeah, and then not to go too deep into that, I know this won't be my last time here, so we can talk about that in the future. But just to talk about the record, I give thanks first. You live once. A lot of people think that it's twice. So I just try to do what I feel is right and to pay respect to the universe, because that's what's keeping me going. You know what I'm saying? At any given, and I also know that there are energies out there that are conflicting and powerful enough to turn me into a magic trick too, which is fine. I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it.
Sure.
And I believe that regardless of whatever it is that you deal with, good or bad, as long as you give the respect first, it will be given back to you.
I believe that. Why don't you do the people a favor and introduce the song Juss Listen? They're going to listen to that right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I would just like to introduce to you on Finally TV, to the world, Juss Listen by Senior G, the music industry's holy trinity.
I thank God that she gave me a gift, Just listen. Yeah, one more time for him, son. I thank God that she gave me a gift, just listen. Yo, real MCs can go straight through. I said seniors that ninja, G-strings the team. South side's the hood and the ball's Queens. I'm a legacy, spreading like a virus kid. Crossing ninjas path left and right like I was Iverson. I got 3 choices to succeed in this industry: producer, mixing engineer, or an MC. The holy trinity, y'all people can't get rid of me. Not trying to hit me, G, you sounding real silly, B. Physical trilogies, trying to test my abilities. Y'all must be kidding me, about to give me a realty. Cop string, some jewelry, all these haters be grilling killing me, cause they girl be feeling me. So I just really be playing the cut, crushing it tough, rolling the clutch, bumping beats, Bishop, what up? You wanna talk ish? Ninjas, here's a roll of tissue. When you see me in the streets, just grind your teeth like pit bulls. I thank God that she gave me a gift. The worst thing you could be is a snitch.
So I personally like that track. That was the first track that I listened to. There was another track, I want to say.
Ooh, that's the first single from. I put that out on my daughter's birthday.
There's another one.
Oh, with Adele.
Yeah,
that's not really a record. That's a voicemail message to my deceased mother.
Yeah, I peeped that.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
It's interesting though. Like, you made it music though.
I did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I kind of took the approach on it that Eminem took on that song. I forget the name of it, but I think he was talking to his daughter. The song that he was singing, he was like, I don't sing, but I just felt like singing.
Right.
That, you know,
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't sing. I just sometimes I can't take it seriously, but I did used to sing in a choir. I've been on TV before in church choir, and that's why my voice is the way that it is now. The bass didn't really hit my voice box because I was, soprano, hitting all them high notes. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's cool because within New Age hip hop, within the mixing process, because I'm an engineer.
You know what I'm saying? Multiple times, if y'all haven't.
An engineer. You know what I'm saying? I know how I'm going to make you feel because life itself is frequencies.
Sure.
If you listen to Bob Marley's music, it was recorded in a certain hertz because you listen to his music, it's actually healing. So in the mixing process with New Age hip hop, there's numerology involved. We use life path numbers. And we actually embody ourselves into the music, literally. We're not saying, I put my all into it. No, you didn't.
Right.
No, you didn't.
Right.
No, we actually take pieces of ourselves figuratively. I sit there, I listen to it, I think about it, I feel about it, and I let their energy guide me through the process. Because I'm not doing it by myself. No one does anything great by themselves, even though they feel that they're physically alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not trying to trip anybody out or nothing, but I can, like I said, it's just easy to be me. You either gonna respect it or not. Well, that's fine.
Right.
I just ask people to respect my opinions the same way they expect me to respect their rebuttals.
Sure. No, I get that. Before we get out of here, brother, there's two things I got to get to.
Okay.
So one is, and I feel like you've been speaking to this the whole time. So I'm gonna ask you just to summarize this, and I'm gonna put a cap. I'm gonna put a cap on you.
I'm gonna try.
All right?
All
right. And we don't have to hold this forever, even though it's recorded. You can always change your mind at some point and be okay. But I was gonna ask you a line of advice that you would live by. That's kind of like pushing you the way you're going. But I think you've spoken to that and what's keeping you going, If you had to summarize it in a line, though, and you had to convey it to somebody else, what would that line be?
To summarize all of that in a line, man, let me ask for some help on that.
Yes,
one.
I know you.
To summarize that in a
I did that to him
line.
because he's super creative, and I could tell. So I just.
Oh man, to summarize all of that into a line is simple. Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you.
I knew it was gonna be something.
Learn from, teach one.
There it is.
It shouldn't always be about money, because money didn't exist since the beginning of time.
Right, correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's an injected evil.
Yeah. It is. It truly is. So Did I pass?
No, you did.
Okay.
No. I mean, you've been speaking to that. So that's why I said I'm gonna just have you summarize, because I didn't want to do the whole interview over again, because you've really been speaking to what's really driving you and pushing you. You know what I'm saying? And it says it in your name. It says it when they listen to your music. They're gonna understand. You know what I mean? So salute to you. I just want to say
brother.
that. I really do appreciate where you're coming from with the new age hip hop movement.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do to try to push that forward. You know what I mean?
Hey, it would be greatly appreciated, brother. And likewise, it's anybody. I could tell you. I could tell the world this. This is anybody who knows me. One, I'm a man of my word, because you only got two things in this world as a man. Period. You know what I'm saying? So, if anyone who has, no matter how much time goes by, I got the memory of an elephant. So it doesn't matter how much time goes by. Anybody who has helped me at all, no matter how minuscule it may have been to them, it has always been gigantic and enormous to me. So those are the individuals, as I continue on this growing elevation process of new age hip hop, of Senior G, and of my business structures. Those that help me, those are the people that I'm going to continue to be like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Hey, look, this is what you need to do. Blah, blah, blah. I got a little insight because, I'm an investor too. I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things, and I just try to just give back, because at the end of the day, in order to get it, you have to let some of it go in order to receive more in, because if you just store it and store it and store it and store it, it's like you get so overwhelmed with all of this that you store, whether it be information or materialistic items, even grudges. You know what I'm saying?
No,
if you
too
don't,
much energy.
It's and I don't have that type of time, because if you guys look at the Matrix, the first one. Battery. You just watch the movie. You know what I'm saying? In short, So I just hope that those that have helped will continue to do what they're doing, and then when I can get in the position to elevate them, come on.
No,
yourself included.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because you, like I said, you didn't have to do what you did. I don't have to hide nothing from anybody. I came to him humble. I said, look, this is my situation. Can you fit me in? He was like, all right, look. And, so I could speak on it because that's what happened. And I feel because of my approach is what allowed you to decide to have me here in your establishment. You made this happen. So thank you.
You got it. Before we get out of here, you had mentioned it already, so the cat's already out the bag.
Okay.
One of your biggest shining moments, I always like to ask people when the first time was that they felt like a star. You had mentioned the Apollo deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I don't know if people really, the whole audience understands how big of a deal that is, but that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
That's a big deal.
So talk about that night a little bit and take us home, baby.
Man, let me tell you right quick. It was before everybody, let me just educate the world real quick. There's two versions of the show. They had the televised version that Sinbad and that Steve Harvey used to host. And then they had one that they do all year round, every Wednesday night.
The one that Fat Joe killed.
I heard about that. I heard about that. And I'll speak on that in a second, because I got into a huge debate with somebody on that, because there's a difference between being a rapper and an MC. I am an MC. I'm a master of ceremonies. I'm not a rapper. So when I got into a discussion with somebody I used to work with who lived in the Bronx, but came and worked in Queens, he was like, he knew about it. He was happy. He was like, nah, but you ain't the first rapper that won, because Fat Joe did that. And I said, well, whoa. I never said I was a rapper. He's a rapper. Yeah, he killed it. I was the first MC to go up there with only 5-6 people that came with me, maybe a little more than hold on, it was my mama, it was my ex at the time. Okay, let me see, Dion, Tremaine was there, my grandmother and my aunt, and Barbara. So, okay, so 7 people, Universal. Okay, I had 7 people there. the whole building knew who I was when I was leaving.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And to be able to go on there and
You did it with no beat.
no beat, a cappella.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that there was no misconstruities, no misunderstandings, but the beat is fire. No. You're going to hear everything that I got to tell you.
Right.
You're going to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because that's what a master of ceremonies does. They control the situation.
Absolutely.
You know, and if they have to improvise on the fly, we make it happen. But did you know we improvise? No.
No. Exactly. Exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
right.
that right there, you know, who was hosting it? Talent was hosting that show. And then I had won, and then I had went to the finals at the end of the year, and Dougie Fresh was hosting that one. I didn't win. I wasn't going there to win. I already felt like I already won. Because to this day, even the people who are out already that's famous, now known, you know, world known and stuff like that, they can't do what I did because it wouldn't be the same meaning based off principle. You're already successful.
Right.
You know? Right. And there have been other successful people that have went there and gotten booed. You know?
Oh, yeah, big time.
You know,
Big time.
Richard Pryor, right?
Yeah.
He got booed.
A
couple of people got booed. Music people
got
booed. Like gone.
Bye.
Like Sandman was like, come on with the cane. I mean, God rest his soul. But, you know.
Yeah.
But for me to go on there on, I guess, the minor league circuit, if we was looking at it in baseball metaphorically, you know, to be there and do it on my own merit, you know, without reaching out to relatives or anything like that. No, look what I could do on my own. So therefore, I could say, look, I did this because it just so happens. It's sad, but it just seems like when certain individuals do something for you, it's with the, not necessarily at first, but depending upon how it cultivates and what your end result is as far as success, it can turn into something else, and then it's like, oh, if it wasn't for me, I don't do well in those conversations at all, because then I can forget completely who you are, and you can be a stranger, and we can take it to wherever we need to at that point. You know, so I just try to avoid all of that and just say, hey, look, you know what, let me do as much as I can on my own up until the point where I need help. Then I ask for it, but I'm not just asking for it with nothing. This is what I'm bringing with me.
I need help getting this all over.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that right there was and still is a good moment for me, because I know that there's not a lot of people walking the earth that can say the same thing that I'm saying.
I mean, it's a huge accomplishment to go through that and get recognized and win for a night, and you know, whatever happens later on in the year when they bring you back, that don't matter.
No.
It's getting there.
Getting there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
getting there.
You know.
Well, how I got on there, it started out with I had an old associate of mine had took me out to the Bronx BBQs, and they used to have the open mics there, and I went and did the open mic, and I had got such a good reception. And at the time, there was a group of women there. They had a business. It was called Shades of Blackness Entertainment, I believe. This was many moons ago, but I believe that that's what it was. And they was talking about, they was doing a show in New Rochelle, and they wanted me to perform. I said, oh, okay, no problem. So I said, but I don't have a vehicle. You know, I'm here in the city. I'm a young dad. You know, my first legal job was Popeye's Chicken and Biscuits, you know, downtown Brooklyn on Jay and Willoughby. You know what I'm saying? At the time, minimum wage was $5.15 an hour. I had to beg them to give me $5.50 because I was getting burned with 460 degree shortening oil every day. That ain't regular oil, y'all. Shortening oil, when that hit your skin, it burned different. It hit different.
It stays there.
Stays there. you know, and the individual at the time was like, I got you. I'll bring you there.
Okay, there you go.
And, you know, he took me up there, and I went there and killed it. Did this song, a cappella, the one that I had performed at the Apollo later, and I was the only act that whole entire evening that got a standing ovation.
Oh, there you go.
And that's when Talent had said to me, once that was his second visual, he was like, I'm gonna put you on the Apollo. And then that's how that happened.
That's how that happened.
So 1999 now that I think about it, you know, and I think about Prince's song, you know, Party Like It's 1999. 1999 for me was a lot. I became a father. You know, I made history, not just for myself, but for the galaxy, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And at that point, I said, you know what? I can do this. You know, I could do this. You know, I mean, even though it's 20 plus years later, I've grown. You know, I've got music out there. You know,
as long as you live and learn and keep creating and be creative,
absolutely.
You've done really well with that.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I look at it, it's like I said, it's not about finances, but just the fact that we woke up this morning, I feel we doing well.
Absolutely.
Because it could have been over.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because when you get called, that's it. And no matter what, you could be as healthy as you want to be.
When that call comes,
that's it. You gotta answer it. That's it. You know.
Senor G, I want to thank you for coming out here,
thank
brother.
you for having me, brother. I really, truly, wholeheartedly appreciate you having me, and hopefully, sometime in the near future, I can come back and we can talk about different things. You know, because I got a lot up here, man.
You might see him on Wire's Conspiracy when we fire up season 2 of that. I think you'd be a great guest to come on that show and chop it up with me and my boys.
Absolutely.
You know, we'll
Absolutely.
So go ahead and follow this man. You know his information has been on the screen a couple times. I know it's been in this bottom left corner for y'all to go follow. So make sure you follow, like, subscribe to this man. Go follow, stream some music. You know, let it play in the background. Go to work and just let it go. Like, let it at home on the computer going, whatever you gotta do. Let it rock.
Good music. Good music.
Just let that music be pumped out into the world.
Good music.
It's you know, it's radio friendly. It's kid friendly.
Kid friendly.
You won't never hear a curse in there. You know what I'm saying? So
you might think you heard it, but you ain't hear it.
You ain't hear it.
That means you're listening too hard.
That's it. So for Senor G, I am Gabriel. This is Voice of the Valley. It's finally TV. Party people, let's go.